Hey guys, it is Monday, August 10th. Yeah, it's the 10th, and I'm here to do an update. Um, I did a video about 6-ish weeks ago, and so here I am back again, surprisingly enough. Um, it's been kind of a rough summer. Like, nothing bad has happened. Um, like, not personally, nothing bad has happened. It's just, I'm in California. We're still in lockdown for the most part, and it's just tiresome. And yeah, um, it's been getting more difficult to cope with, and um, I've been having problems sleeping. I was fine. Remember back in May, I was having trouble sleeping, and then it got better. And then I went on vacation, and I got all messed up again when I was on vacation the first 2-ish weeks of July, and um, and I've been having trouble getting it back to normal. So my sleep schedule is messed up. My motivation to work is very low. I took Friday off because I just couldn't. I was struggling to get through the week, and then I'm like, I just can't. And then the power company sent an email saying, "Hey, we're cutting off your power on Friday afternoon for a little while." And I was like, "Okay, done." And I sent in my time slip because I was like, "No, I'm done." I turned out the power only went out for about 5 minutes, but um, I was I, so I've been having a rough time. Uh, it's been a rough summer. And again, it's not that anything bad has happened to me personally. My mom was in the hospital at the end of June, right before the 4th of July holiday. She's fine. She's still recovering, but she's fine. Um, so that's really the only like significant negative thing that has happened. But just this whole lockdown thing and working from home and having my yeah, it's wearing on me, and so yeah. Um, so my stitching has kind of been up and down because yeah. And I know all of you are going through the same thing. I know a lot of you can say the same thing, that your sleep patterns have gotten off and your stitching bug has disappeared, and it's just been a difficult time. So I've done some stitching. Um, I am very, very thankful for the virtual stitchers because it helps a lot to have virtual stitchers. I spend quite a bit of time on virtual stitchers, and it helps a lot that they're there to talk to and have fun with and to stitch with. And for virtual company, since I live by myself, um, yeah. So, uh, so I've done some stitching. Um, yeah, I've done a lot of shopping. There's been some retail therapy. I had a birthday. There was some retail therapy involved in that. Uh, so here we go, because y'all didn't come on here to hear me complain about COVID. Um, so let's start with what I stitched on for the last part of June, July, and the first part of August. And I think this is everything. I don't think I've stitched on anything else. Um, I had a couple of new starts, which I'll show you. But first, let's talk about what I stitched on. So this is my blue snowflake bag from Little Yellow House Crafts. And the project that lives in here is Story Keep the Littlest Fairy. Artwork by Selena Fennick, charted by Hade. I started this in May of 2019. And actually, it just popped up on my Facebook memories for yesterday or for today. of where I was during the August um, 24 hours of cross stitch last year. And when I look at that picture and I look at where I am now, I'm like, wow. So here's where I've gotten to on her. So I'm almost finished with her. I just got the last little bit of her clothing that's hanging off the edge of the mushroom. And then the rest of it is just the mushroom in the background. As Jessie Marie told me once, it's just coloring from this point. Um, so there she is. When I look at my picture from my Facebook memories, I didn't even have her face yet. I had finished the top row and I had the first block of the second row and I was working in a diagonal down this way, but I only had some of her hair. I didn't even have her face yet. So I was like, wow, I've come a long way. I'm at, per pattern keeper, I'm at 54%, something like that. And I've got somewhere around 5,200, 5,300, 5,500, something like that. Somewhere around 5,000 stitches left. So there she is. She is going to come out again when we get to plans for September. My next project that I've been working on is Victorian Village. And again, this is my oldest WIP, 1994. Um, and actually, I'm really happy with my progress on this for this year. And I hope to make more progress on it. I hope to finish it this year. But here it is. So let me turn this around. This is the general store. It says Village Store on this sign here when I get around to back stitching it. So I did that. I, I thought I was done with it, but I need to add the chimneys. There's a chimney on each side, and I need to backstitch it. And then because I needed the color for a prompt, I needed orange for magical stitches. I started on this house, which is like a rust color. It's terracotta and yellow, and then the roof right here, and the trim is green. Not my favorite house. Not my favorite color scheme. But so I'm working on that. But I'm very happy with this. I don't know if y'all remember. Well, it's only been 6 weeks. Um, but when I started this project at the beginning of the year, I only had the candy store and the yellow and blue house done. I only had uh, two of the ornaments done. I had started the firehouse, but I ended up having to frog it and restart it. So far this year, I've gone from 2 ornaments to working on number 7 out of 12. So I'm really happy with that, and I hope to finish that this year. This will come back out also for September plans. And then my last WIP that I worked on, and I don't have the cover picture of this, but if you've been hanging out here for a while, you know what it looks like, is Under the Evergreen by Theresa Winslower. So major drama involved in this piece. Uh, so if you remember from June, it didn't look like this when you saw it in June. In fact, let me show you a picture of what it looked like. I'm going to try to show you a picture of what it looked like. So this is not really what it looked like in June, but this gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. It's enough to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna sneeze. So see all this green up here, and this is really the point of what I'm talking about. All this green up here. Excuse me. So I had gridded. There you go. I had gridded from the top of the horse, or from somewhere in here, up to the top of the design, because I wanted to start on the tree, and because it was confetti, I wanted to park it, and I wanted to work down. And so I had gridded my way up to the top of the tree, or up to the top of the design, and I started working down. Well, I didn't do it right. And what I think I did, and I'm not even entirely sure about this, what I think I did is I think I gridded up to the top of the border, but then when I started stitching, I put the top of the tree at the top of the grid without leaving the space for the border. And so then when I came down here, this bottom of the green right here is supposed to be right above the horse's head. And there's like 20 stitches in there. Um, and so there's too much space, and it's too much to fudge because I would have to fudge the whole thing all the way across, and it just wasn't going to work. It's too much to add 10 stitches because I still had when I figured it out, I still had another block that I had to do of the horse, or a good part of a block. But it was too much to be able to fudge it, and to be able to fudge it all the way across the piece. So I ended up frogging out all of this green right here in the border. It took me 3 nights of frogging to get all that out. In the meantime, I was still continuing to work on it because of scavenger hunt, and I was trying to finish my scavenger hunt. So I worked on the horse, and I worked on some of the parts of the bottom, and I just ignored the top for a few weeks. Yeah, see, there's the back. um, so I worked on the horse. I love this little horse. I've been calling him my handsome boy. I've been calling this piece alternately my handsome boy because I just love the horse, and my problem child because I had to frog somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 stitches. But so I got it all frogged, but I still wanted to work from the top. I didn't want to I wanted to park the tree because it's a lot of confetti, and I wanted to work from the top down. I didn't want to try to work up from the horse. So what I did this time, and I wish I had done this the first time because it would have saved me a lot of frogging, is I just took the border and followed the border up to the top and then worked down that way. And now it all lines up perfectly. So I'm very happy with that. And I like this too, that it kind of sectioned off this area that I can just kind of focus on. Oh, I have this, enclosed area that I can focus on, and there's part of the wagon right here, and the rest of the wagon goes here. There's a teddy bear right here, and then the rest of it is all tree. But um, I really like that. So there's Under the Evergreen, and so that's what I worked on. Um, we'll get back to that with plans. I had 2 new starts since I saw you last. Because I'm insane. So in Virtual Stitchers, they're doing Leap into a New Start on the 29th of every month because 2020 is a leap year, and it was the 29th of February, so they're doing a new start on the 29th of every month. I have not participated in all of these. I've done a few of them. In June, when June 29th came around, let me get my phone because I'm going to need it to show you this. when June 29th came around, I was kind of feeling like I was trying to get my stitchy bug back. I had done some stitching, but I was kind of trying to get my stitchy bug back, and they were all starting something, and I had bought this design, and I kept staring at it, and um, I had ordered a piece of 25 count easy grid fabric that I was going to put Magic Steady on. I had ordered it from Hand Dyed by Rolanda, and I was going to put Magic Steady on it. But I was sitting there on the 29th on Virtual Stitchers, and I was looking at this. I'm like, I have a piece of fabric that I just bought, and I have enough colors that I had done a little bit of kitting. I hadn't completely kitted it, but I had been to Joann, and I had bought enough of the colors, the multiples. I was concentrating on getting the ones that I need multiples of. Um, because a lot of the other colors, you just need one strand, or you just need, it's 100 stitches or 1,000 stitches or something that, takes a small portion of a skein. So I was concentrating on the colors that I needed multiples of. And so I had gotten some of those. I'm like, I have enough I could get started. And so I started. And this is what I started. This is dark water. Yeah. Turn this down so you can see what I'm talking about here. Here we go. There she is. This is Dark Water by Jessica Elaine, charted by Hade. And she's gorgeous. And the first page is like 3 colors. It's 3750, and there's another shade of blue and a little bit of a third shade. I don't remember what the other 2 colors are, but there's a lot of 3750. So I started her because I'm insane. Ah, I just sent a pile of stuff on the floor. So this, by the way, is living in my manatee bag from Gayron. I need to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I'm just a hot mess over here. So I started her, and that's all I did. It's a grand total of 49 stitches. That's all I've done. She just, I started her, but at the moment, she's not much of a priority. I hope to get back to her later this year or next year. In fact, if I want to get to her next year, I'm going to have to put some more stitches in her later this year to be able to qualify it for No New Starts next year. And those evil women over at No New Starts have been teasing us about what the requirements are going to be. But I'm going to have to get back to her and put some more stitches in her for No New Starts next year. And then I had a birthday. My birthday is July 16th. And so we did a stitch along in Virtual Stitchers. And the piece that I chose, and I talked about this on my last video. Arg. I talked about this on my last video. The piece that I chose was Joy in the Journey by Alicia Arts. And I say you could also work on Blessed is a Life by Little House Needleworks, or just any piece where the journey is bringing you joy, or a sampler. So I didn't do a lot of stitching on my birthday. And a lot of the girls on Virtual Stitches who participated in the SAL with me did a lot more stitching than I did. Natalie at Nitty Nat Stitches already has like a bunch of stitches in hers because she's fantastic, and I'm a slacker. But uh, this is all I did. My sad little birthday start. You can't even see that because of the hanging threads. But yeah, that's all I did. I just did that little bit of the border. And that was my sad little birthday start. Again, I haven't gotten back to it. I've been focused on other things. And this is not terribly high on the priority list at the moment. Again, I'm going to have to go back to it for no new starts next year. But at the moment, it's just going to wait its turn. So that's that. That's what I worked on. Okay. So, haul. Yeah. Oh, no, not haul. Not haul yet. Plans. Let's do plans. So, August, for the month of August, Semi-Sane Stitchers, which is now closed. You cannot get in. They're not accepting new members. I suspect that's going to change. I don't have any, that's just a suspicion on my part. Don't quote me, but I suspect that they're going to open it at least for a little bit, sometime in the near future. So if you want to join Semi-Sane, just kind of stay tuned and watch, because I think that they're going to open it at some point here. But uh, they're having this event called Needleworker Suite, and if you're old enough to remember the game show from the late 80s or early 90s, or you've been watching it on Netflix because it just recently made its way to Netflix, there was a show called Supermarket Sweep where it was like a price comparing game, and then at the end of the show, whichever two teams won, it was kind of like a scavenger hunt in the grocery store, and they would give you clues, and you would have to figure out what the items were, and you run around the store filling your cart up with stuff, and at the end they ring you up, and whoever has the highest cash or total wins. And so those evil women at Virtual Stitchers had come up with a challenge based on this game, and they presented it to Semi-Sane, and Semi-Sane took it and made it into an event for the month of August. So in the month of July, they posted 5 designers, and you had to choose one, and you were choosing blindly because you didn't know what the stitch counts were. You didn't know what the requirement was going to be for each designer, but you chose one, and on August 1st, they posted the stitch count. I chose Mirabilia, and the stitch count, the object is that they posted a shopping list for each designer, and you have to buy the kit for this designer. And with stitches, nobody's actually buying anything. You're not actually going to receive any stash out of it. It's just buy the materials for this designer with stitches. So the total for Mirabilia is 13,000 and some odd stitches. And the other thing, because of one person on Virtual Stitchers suggested this, it has to be on one WIP. So this is the reason why I chose. Let me back up again. So also running at the same time as Needleworker Sweep is Choose My WIP. So I put my 3 scavenger hunt pieces under the Evergreen, Littlest Fairy, and Victorian Village up on Choose My WIP. And I expected the fairy to win, and I thought whichever one wins Choose My WIP, I'm going to use for Supermarket or for Needleworker Sweep. because it's too many stitches to try to do both on 2 different pieces. So whichever one wins, I'm just going to use that for needlework or sweep. And to my surprise, under the Evergreen one, I really thought the fairy was going to win. In the first round, under the Evergreen won by quite a few votes. It wasn't double, but it was a few votes. It wasn't like neck and neck. It was a significant number of votes. So, um, so I'm using under the Evergreen for needlework or sweep. There is no way that I'm going to get 13,000 stitches in this month. It's not going to happen. We're on August 10th, and I've done 500 stitches. So, because I spent 3 nights frogging, and then I'm just a slacker, and I'm slow, and it's a lot of confetti. Look at all that tree confetti. It took me all day Saturday, or Friday, Saturday. It took me all day Saturday to put 282 stitches in here because of all that confetti. So, so this is mostly what I'm going to focus on for the month of August. Is I'm not going to get 13,000 stitches, but if I can, the pattern is 1,600 stitches. So if I can get the pattern and maybe get whichever one is after that, I don't know, or get, one of the lower count items on there, I'll be happy with that. If I can get 2,000 stitches, that'll be great. That's 2,000 stitches that I didn't have before. So, I'm going to focus on this for most of the month of August. And I'm going to try to alternate between this confetti because I don't want to leave the tree until last. I don't want to be in a situation where I finished all the bottom, where I finished all the toys and all the carpet, and all I have left is tree confetti because that's not going to go well. So I did some tree. I'm going to do the wagon, and then I'll do some more tree, and then I'll finish the horse, and then I'll do some more tree, or do some border or something, and just kind of chip away at the tree because ending up with nothing but tree is not going to be good. So I'm going to poke at that for August and see how far I can get. And we just voting for round 2 of Choose My WIP has already finished. You were allowed to start stitching yesterday, and I kind of did this on purpose. I put it up against the ornaments because I knew it would win. So I'm going to do another 500 stitches on this for Choose My WIP this month or this week. In fact, when I finish this video, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to get started on that. And it'll be easier because I don't have to spend 3 nights frogging. So I'm going to do that. So that's basically what the plan is for August. Scavenger hunt, I might take a little break at some point because scavenger hunt, I'm almost done. I was hoping to finish it in July. I did not finish it, but I have a half a prompt left on Under the Evergreen. I did 100 stitches. I need to do 100 more stitches. I need to do 200 stitches on the fairy, 200 stitches on the ornaments, and I need to take my final picture and do those stitches. And then I'll be done with the first level of scavenger hunt. Which will be fantastic because when you get to the second level, you're allowed to double dip it with the weeklies or with the monthlies. The first level, you're not allowed to double dip, which has been a big problem. It's been made it more difficult. But I'm looking forward to. You don't have to double dip, and you don't really have to do the pictures. You can do them if you want, but you don't have to. So I think you get an extra entry or something if you do the pictures. But so I'm looking forward to that. For September, the plan is to put Under the Evergreen away because I will probably be sick of it at that point. And I'm going to focus really hard in September on the fairy and on the ornaments because I would really like to get both of those finished this year. The fairy is, I mean, I still need 5,000 stitches, but I'm going to focus on both of those really hard in September because and try to make some good progress. Maybe finish the ornaments. I don't know. I don't know how likely it is I'm going to finish either one of them in September, but I'm going to focus really hard on both of those. I still have other goals that I want to finish before the end of the year, and I'm running out of time. I want to finish Raspberry Homecoming. I want to finish Quaker Game Board. I'll probably spend some time on Quaker Game Board in September too. But I have a lot of goals, and I'm running out of time, and I'm not really that close to any of them. And they're all on my WIP Go board, so um, yeah, I need to finish some of these goals, mark my WIP Go board, get some pieces out of the way, because I want to start some stuff before Nunu starts next year, but I want to get some finishes. I want to clear some stuff off my plate so I have some more room to start more stuff. Because when you say no new starts, that's what that really means, right? That means start a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to start that many things, but like 3 or 4 things I'm going to start. I told Beth Ann that I would start Elephant Friend with her, and I have a couple ideas of some other things that I want to start. So, and if you don't watch Beth Ann, her channel is Stitching by Twilight, and you should check her out. She does a lot of full coverage. She has an insane amount of full coverage. So, so that's pretty much the plan for September. I don't know how the rest of this is going to play out. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff I want to finish. I'm running out of time. I need to get ready. In November and December, I need to get ready for No New Starts. So stay tuned. You're going to find out how this goes right along with me. I have no idea. All right. So, haul. Yeah, shopping, retail therapy, me please. Um, yeah, all of that. There's been quite a bit. The first thing that I will show, and this isn't really going to be in any particular order. This is just sort of the order that it's stacked here. I can't tell you what order I bought stuff in. It's on my PayPal what order I bought it in. I'm not going to sit here and go through my PayPal and try to pick through it. So, the first thing is I got, see, all this stuff got knocked over. Excuse me for a second. While I pick all this up. All right, there we go. The first thing is I got a really sweet gift from one of the virtual stitchers. She told me for my birthday. She told me, I sent you something. It'll be there on Saturday. So I was like, okay. So on Saturday, I went to get the mail. I went to get the mail. I didn't know what she had sent, so I was looking for a package from her, and there wasn't anything there. And I thought, But then I noticed that there were these 2 Amazon packages on the ground. And I'm like, let me just look at these and see if one of them's for me. And sure enough, one of them was. So it's a good thing that she told me to expect something because otherwise I wouldn't have known to look at those Amazon packages. But what she sent me was she sent me a little collection of Sulky 12 weight. And this is I don't know what collection this is, but it's just like the general colors. So that was very sweet, and thank you to her. I didn't ask for permission to use her name, so, but she's very sweet. So I got that. And then, of course, I took that and kind of, I was like, oh, Silky is very good for monochromatic samplers like Long Dog and ink circles because it's one strand and it's about 1.5 strands or 2 strands of DMC and it's a solid color. It comes in these big spools. So I'm like, I think I think that I could probably stitch. I was thinking about this when I was looking at this. These are 50-yard spools, and I think I could probably stitch Long Dog's Blue Bouquet with this with this spool of this blue, which is another thing that I bought. Do I have a picture of it? I don't know that I do. But I bought, let's see if it's on here. It is on here. Look at that. This is Blue Bouquet by Long Dog Samplers. And I bought the PDF because they work on Pattern Keeper. And the latest update of Pattern Keeper has more support for Long Dog. So yay! And I think I could stitch that with this 50-yard spool of something. So I was like, this is great because I have a long list of Long Dogs. I could stitch Blue Bouquet, I could stitch Epistle, I could stitch, I don't know, I have a list. Honestly, I'm not sure if Pandemic is going to be on that list, and the same thing with Death by Cross Stitch, I'm not sure. But I have a list. So, of course, the next thing I did was I went and ordered some Sulky from the Sulky website. And I got another shade of blue, and I got pink, and I got aqua, and this looks like brown, but it's actually like a dark red, like a maroon or a burgundy, and then black. So I got that. And then I actually got another gift from one of the virtual stitchers. She sent me a gift card for Top Knot Stitcher. And so from that, and I think I made some mistakes when I did this. And it's not Abby's fault, and it's not the virtual stitcher's fault. It's Laurel's fault. From that, I got this because I thought it was adorable. This is Shelter from the Storm by Scattered Seed Samplers. And I thought the little bunnies under the mushroom were adorable. And um I got this. This is Memorial Day from Hands On Design. I had ordered the thread pack from her, but she sent me an email and said, you know, I'm actually out of the thread pack. And she refunded me for it. But I was able to order it elsewhere. So I have both the design and the thread pack now. And it's more sulky. This is more sulky. So there we go. Yikes. I'm trying to find a place to put this stuff. Alright. And then I got this is where I think I made a mistake, and I need to learn to shop more carefully. I got a couple of charts from Lindy Stitches. I got what is this? This is Poor and Needy. It says, "As for me, I am poor and needy, but the Lord takes thought for me." And I got Cut Your Thistles. It says, "Cut your thistles before St. John, or you'll have two instead of one." And the reason I think I made a mistake here is because I can buy these from the Lindy Stitches Etsy shop and have them on PDF. And I could have spent that money on something different from Top Knot Stitcher that I couldn't have gotten as a PDF. So I'm not sorry that I bought these charts. I'm just sorry that I didn't think to just get them on the PDF instead. And I could have used that money for something different. So I'm learning to shop more carefully and learning to prioritize. Okay, this comes as PDF. I'll get it as PDF. This comes only as paper, so I'm going to order it as paper. So thank you to the other virtual stitcher who sent me the gift card. Okay. And then I got from Stash and Load, I got the Mirabilia Thanksgiving Fairy, which was the last one of these that I didn't have. I've stitched two. I've stitched Christmas and New Year's, and now I have all four of the others: Thanksgiving, Easter, Halloween, and Valentine's. So now I have them all. And Sarah at our Stitching Kingdom just received this one as well, so maybe we'll stitch it together. I was on, oh, I was on Facebook, and somebody posted this design that I had never seen before, and I'm like, oh, I love that. And so I went to look for it. She had the name and the designer, or she had the name, or I don't know what she had, but I was able to find it. And I figured out who the designer was, and I found it, but had trouble finding it. And I don't know, and I still don't know. In fact, maybe it's on here. Is it on here? There's not a date on here. I don't know if it's hard to find because it's a new release and they don't have it yet, or if it's hard to find because it's an old release and it's out of print. But I had trouble finding it. And I found it at Down Sunshine Lane. So I ordered this. This is I See Trees Are Green by Heartstring Samplery. And I love it. It has the lyrics to the song, I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I love it. And I will probably pick colors for this. It's charted in Gentle Art, which are hard to come by these days. I tried to order them, and 123 Stitch, and both 123 Stitch and Garan Stitchery. Garan is now carrying stash, threads, and fabric, or threads and charts. I don't know if they're carrying fabric yet. I think they might be carrying some fabric, but you can actually order some stitching supplies and not just project bags and grime guards from Garan now. And both of them were out of like all of the colors. Neither of them had hardly any of the colors. So I think I'm just gonna end up just choosing colors for this, as out of my stash instead of trying to chase down the cloud for because they're hard to come by right now. So I got that, and I got, because no chart can travel alone, I got In a Perfect World by Scarlet House, which I have been wanting since I first saw it. I think I saw it on Jesse's channel first, and I've been wanting it since then, so I got that. And I think that might also be where I got the thread pack for the hands-on design. I think I might have gotten that there. So then, I ordered from 123 Stitch. I don't have any place to put stuff. Okay. I showed you that. I showed you that. I showed you that. I showed you that. Here, this is what I'm looking for. I ordered from 123 Stitch because, actually, no, maybe I ordered the thread pack from 123 Stitch. I had some reason for ordering from 123 Stitch, and I think maybe it was the thread pack. Oh, no, 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 no. I know why I ordered from 123 Stitch. This is why I ordered from 123 Stitch. So, I'm just a hot mess over here, you guys. So, I was on Stash and Load. Let me try not to hit the stop button. I was on Stash and Load, and I saw a Blackbird design that a friend wants. And I know she wants this chart. She's been looking for it. We just talked about it. And I messaged her and I said, hey, you know, this chart is available on Stash and Load. And so she went and she found it. And she contacted the seller, do you ship overseas? And she's like, yeah. And she said, well, can you wait until this date when I get paid? And the seller said, well, I'll ship overseas, but I don't want to wait for you to get paid. And so I bought it because I live in the US. So I'm like, well, I'm going to buy it and then I'm going to stitch it and then I will send it to her and she will buy it from me. And we worked it out and she was good with this. So I bought the design from the seller. I haven't received it yet. But the reason I ordered from 123 Stitch is because my friend over here is in a big hurry to get the design. So I need to stitch it and get it out to her because she's impatient. So she's funny. Um, so she, so I ordered from 123 Stitch and I ordered the threads for it. So when the design gets here, I can choose some fabric and I can get moving and not kill my friend with anticipation. So, um, so these are the colors. This is for Moonlit Garden or Moon Garden, or whatever it's called, by Blackbird Designs. And so, yeah. So there's the colors. It's like a green and a purple and a pink and like an off-white and then a yellow. So, or like a yellow-green. Anyway, so that's why I ordered from 123 Stitch, was to get those. Let's see if I have a picture of the chart here. I do not. I do not. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. It's called Moon Garden. It's by Blackbird Designs. And that's what it looks like. So when I get that, I have the threads. And when I get the chart, I can pick some fabric and get started on it so my friend doesn't die. And of course, those threads can travel alone. So I also got Bird in Hand by Blackbird, which I'll probably kit. Actually, this calls for baked apple, and I think I probably have enough of baked apple to do this. And if not, I'll find something else to do it with. And then I just thought this was adorable. This is a new release from Cottage Garden, and this is their springtime series, and this is number 4, Welcome Spring. And I just thought that lamb was adorable, and so I got that. I've done a lot of shopping. I'm getting tired just talking about all this stuff. And the last thing I got, well, besides project bags, because you know I got those too. And I might not be supposed to be showing you this, but Blackbird had an exclusive design that you could order from you had to be in a particular group and order it from a particular shop. And I did, and it was they kitted it. It was beautiful. They packaged it. It was beautiful. It's an exclusive for right now. You can't get it right now, but just hold your horses. It's going to be released to the public at some point in the future. Just hold your horses. It's called United We Stand by Blackbird. And it's this little box, and it's adorable. It's got the eagle with the little ribbon, and the sides say United We Stand. I'm turning that like you're going to be able to see it better. But, oh, there it is. So, I got that. Okay. Oh, and one more thing. I did a lot of shopping, you guys. Oh my gosh. So, I had me-pleased some stuff at Bush Mountain Stitchery. And I finally got it. I got Live with the Creatures by Caritas Samplings. It says Live with the Creatures among the plants of the earth. I got that. They had that up as, I think they had it like with their out of print charts, or they only had one, and so I claimed that one. And then they had some, let me make sure this is all that's in there. Yeah, it's just bubble wrap. Okay. So I got a couple of thread keeps. I got a manatee thread keep because adorable. I got, in fact, maybe I'll put this with the blackbird. Proud to be an American thread keep, the flag. And I got the matching Proud to be an American corner square, which is fantastic because I've never had one of these and I look forward to using this. Okay. So that is all the stuff that I bought. That's not a project bag. And wow. Okay. So project bags. I'm gonna go through these kind of quickly. Um, this is. I thought these were strawberries, but they're actually raspberries, and it's just a really pretty, floral pattern. Leaves and the raspberries, and there's some blackberries and some butterflies, and it's just pretty. I got this one from one of their sales. Will be the people with the stars. This was their August bag of the month, which is gorgeous. I love it. And it was nice to be surprised. The July one kind of got spoiled. Somebody posted a picture of it too soon, which I did not appreciate. But this one was a surprise. I didn't know what I was getting until I opened it, and it's beautiful. This was the July one, which was also beautiful. I was just disappointed that I got spoiled. Um, but this is American flag and the eagle because of course, July is a patriotic month here in America. And then Vicky at Stitch and Button, of course, is a virtual stitcher. And so for weeks and weeks, she had been making these bags, and she had been telling us, I paired up fabrics, I cut the fabric, as she was going through the process of making all these bags. In total, she ended up with like 67 full-size bags and 20 something accessory bags, 24 accessory bags, I think. And so when she was finished with them, she showed them on Virtual Stitchers, and we got to buy them from Virtual Stitchers. And so I bought 3. Um, I bought the flamingos, and these are vinyl front bags, and it has the pink gingham inside. And I love Vicky's bags, I have to say. I love Gary's too, or Ronnie's too, but Vicky's are just different than his. Um, they come with the vinyl front, and they all come with this little zipper pull. And so it's got the little flamingo. Can you see that? It's got the little flamingo zipper pull with the pink and white beads. This is the patriotic peppermint design. See, they got red and white stripes and blue stars. And it's got this red and white polka dot in the back. And this one has, she gave me my choice of charms on this one. And so it's got the little shooting star charm. And then I got this little winter owl one because adorable. And it's got a snowflake background fabric, and it has a little snowflake zipper pull. So thank you, Vicky. And you can join her group. Her group is Stitch and Button, Stitch the letter N Button, on Facebook, on Etsy, on Instagram. Actually, I think on Instagram it's QN Vicky. Um, but um, that's finally everything. That was a lot. It's been an hour that I've been rambling on. Um, so I am going to end this video, and I am going to put some stitches in under the evergreen. Um, I started to try to put some stitches in the wagon last night, and I couldn't find one of my colors. And I was able to, this morning I went and I was able to pilfer it out of another project. So I finally have all the colors that I need for the wagon, and I'm going to work on that and try to get some stitches in that for Needleworker Sweep and for Magical Stitches Extra Credit and for Scavenger Hunt. And yeah, so I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe. For those of you who are still in lockdown like I am, I hope that you're dealing with it okay and that you're managing your sleep and your stitching and your family and your money. And I hope everything is going well for all of you. Um, it's been a tough year. Some people have had tough years with COVID, plus tough personal years. It's just 2020 is it's been a tough year. So um, I hope you all are doing well, and I will hopefully talk to you again sooner rather than later. And I will see you next time. Bye.